As ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the main gym here at Pioneer, and Pioneer men's JV basketball is live and on the air. Richie to inbound right in front of us for Lincoln as we are getting underway. 8 minutes up on the clock as that ball goes over to White. White brings it over half court. White dishes it into the far corner to Green. Green getting it over to Williams. Williams comes into the paint. That knocked away. Excellent job by Frischler. That pulled away. Here comes Pioneer. Uhas quickly ahead and trying to get it to Christian. Just a little hot pass. Goes out of bounds. That'll go over to Lincoln. As Roach will inbound, Williams will bring it up for Lincoln. As that kicked over to Roach. Roach working. Top of the key now over in the near corner. Bringing that around Williams. Williams gets it over to White. White trying to come down the near baseline. Puts it off glass and puts it in. First points of the game are for Avery White. Lincoln with the 2-0 lead. As now Frischler brings it up. Gets it over to Christian. Christian coming down the far sideline, trying to dump it underneath. That's stolen away. Sent the other direction. Richie sends it over to Williams. Williams comes down the near sideline. That's stolen away by Uhas. Uhas for Pioneer quickly up into the paint. Puts it up with the right hand and puts it in. 2-2 is the score. Uhas with his first points of the game. Williams brings it up for Lincoln. He's on the far wing. Williams kind of dribbling into the paint, lifts it, floats it up. That off the side of the rim, pulled down by Christian. Christian sends it quickly ahead as that shot knocked down, then put up. And good job by Nelson as that was set up by a long shot from Pasternak. Now Williams pulls it up for Lincoln. Pioneer up 4-2. That off the glass, off the rim, pulled down. Here comes Pioneer as Christian has it over center court. Christian floats it onto the far corner. That for Frischler. That pulled over on the near side by Uhas. Uhas gets a screen from Pasternak. Uhas, top of the key, into the paint. Stops, puts it up. Just a foot short of a free throw and puts that in. 4 points for him, 6 for Pioneer, 2 for Lincoln. As the ball tipped away, coming the other direction, Uhas with it, quickly up to Frischler. Frischler gets it underneath, that put up and that put in by Christian. And there will be a timeout. 5 minutes, 24 seconds left to go here. Pioneer with the 8-2 lead on Lincoln. As they call timeout, we'll take it with them. We'll play a little push on. You are watching Pioneer JV men's basketball. We are in the first with 5:42 left to go here in the first period. Richie to inbound, gets it to White. White brings it ahead for Lincoln. No fouls on either team. Pioneer with the 8-2 lead. White, top of the key, now works his way around the arc. Puts it up, that off the side of the rim. Frischler gets the rebound, sends it ahead to Uhas. Uhas, heavy defensive pressure by Williams. Uhas stops at the free throw line, now dribbles into the paint, puts it off the glass with the right hand, puts it down. That's 6 points for Uhas, 10 for Pioneer. White quickly ahead for the rail splitters. He's on the near wing. Wright trying to get down near the baseline. He puts up a 15-footer and nails that. 4 points for White, 4 points for Lincoln. As Uhas brings it down the far sideline for Pioneer. works his way on the baseline on the near side, now getting underneath the post, goes under the basket, rolls it off glass with his right hand. 8 points for him. Here comes Lincoln as White has it right on the block A's. Moves it over to Williams on the far wing. Williams dribbling with it now, sending it over to Green. Green on the near wing. Green takes a three-pointer. That off the back of the rim, skying for it back behind. Out of bounds. That off Pioneer trying to grab the ball, and I think it went off of one of the Pioneer players. That will stay Lincoln ball as they will inbound baseline right underneath their own basket. White to inbound. That kicked all the way back to Green. Green on the far wing sends it over along the far sideline for Williams. Williams being watched by Frischler. That put up off the back of the rim, pulled down by Pasternak. Pasternak gets it over to Juhas. Juhas brings it ahead, gets it right back to Pasternak on the near wing. Pasternak goes down, putting it up with the left hand. That just a little too hard. Coming the other direction is here comes Cook for Lincoln. Cook spins with it, kicks it out, but there is a whistle and a travel called. That bucket or that ball will go over to Pioneer. 4:10 left to go here in the first. Pioneer up 12-4 is the JV matchup. Christian brings it ahead for Pioneer. Christian on the near wing, drives into the baseline, made a move, puts it up, wouldn't fall down, went off the rim, rebound, and here comes Lincoln with it. Green over half court. Green tries to work his way into the paint, drops the ball, puts it right back up, and puts it in. First points for Green. That makes it 12 points for Pioneer, 6 for Lincoln. Juhas right at half court, kicks it back to Frischler. Frischler comes over half court, dribbles to the right, gets it over to Christian on the far wing. Christian, being watched by Green, comes down on the baseline, trying to get it underneath the Nelson. That tipped away, and here comes White. White gets it over to Green for Lincoln. Green, right, the free throw line, gets it, kicks it back. That put up by Cook. Rebound, that pulled away by Frischler. And here comes Juhas coming down the far sideline. Juhas over half court. Juhas. Bounce pass over to Frischler. Frischler on the near wing. Frischler trying to have a little bit of room. That tipped away. Whistle. As we'll have our first foul of the game. That is going to go on Lincoln. I think that was Williams, but can't be positive. Frischler will inbound right in front of us. Being watched by Jabril Conde. That bucket goes, or that basket goes all the way back in the backcourt. Juhas bringing it up. Juhas comes to the far sideline, makes it over half court. Juhas into the paint, kicks it over to Frischler for three. That off the rim, pulled down by Jabril Conde, trying to get it out quickly to Green. Green takes a shot, that pulled down by Frischler. Here comes Pioneer with the 12-6 lead. Frischler over half court. Gets it over. There's Pasternak for three. That off the rim. Bounces on the far side. White with the rebound for Lincoln. Christian trying to knock it away. White stops. Gets it over to Green on the far wing. That over to Williams. Top of the key. Being watched by Pasternak. Williams trying to put it up. And that knocked away by Christian. But a whistle. And that'll be Christian's first foul. That'll be the first foul on Pioneer. One apiece for each team in the act of shooting, so that will be 2 shots for Williams as he toes the line. 2:30 left to go here in this. As that bounces off the front, the back, and the side of the rim. Hard luck bounce there for Williams. 2:30 left to go here in the first quarter. Williams gets another shot. It's basket to him. He toes the line, dribbles, eyes the rim, bends the knees, puts it up, puts it in. As that ball inbounded, Houseman has it, gets it over to Rohrer. Rohrer bringing it up the far sideline. Rohrer over half court, picks up the dribble, gets it over to Frischler. Frischler over to Pasternak. Pasternak, top of the key, now dribbles back. Big time pressure by Williams. Pasternak gets into the paint, floats it up, rims off, coming the other direction. Williams as Houseman providing some heavy pressure, and Will Williams stepped out of bounds due to that pressure, and that will go back over to Pioneer as they'll inbound it on the near sideline. Pioneer has the 12-7 lead. Rohr will inbound on the near sideline. Roach watching him. Rohr looking for some help. Bounce pass. That picked up, coming on the near side. Hussein Conde gets into the paint, puts it off a glass. That comes over to the near side. Rebound by Griffin. Now coming up, White for Lincoln. White has it top of the key, moves it over to Williams. Williams on the far wing. Hussein Conde working against him. Williams comes over to the near side on the baseline, puts it up. That off the back of the rim. Rebound, put up. And that was Roach who put that one in. That makes it 12 points for Pioneer, 9 for Lincoln. 1 minute 37 seconds left as Frischler brings it up over half court. Frischler bounce pass over to Hausman. Hausman trying to get it underneath the Nelson. That knocked away. Here comes Williams for Lincoln. Williams into the paint. Off glass with the right hand. Puts it in. That's his 3rd point. And it's a 1-point lead for Pioneer. So a run for Lincoln. Davis trying to provide full court pressure. Frischler comes to the free throw line. Now Hussein Conde puts that up. That off the back of the rim. Nelson tracks it down. Now it's kicked over to Hausman. Hausman, as that's knocked away from him. That's going to stay Pioneer ball with 1 minute left to go here in the first. 1 foul on both teams. Pioneer to inbound underneath their own baseline. Baseline left. Frischler goes in to inbound the ball. Roach watching him. Bounce pass, that over to Hussein Conde, and the basket just tipped wide and goes into the backcourt. That'll be over and back on Pioneer with 55.3 seconds left to go. The basket goes to Lincoln. They have the opportunity to take the lead, as it's a 1-point lead by Pioneer. White has it along the near sideline, now on the near wing, being watched by Uhas. Bounce pass over to Williams, now trying to get to Davis on the baseline. Davis spins, puts it off glass, rolls off the back of the rim. Good rebound by Christian. Here comes Uhas the other direction. Uhas dribbles to his left. Uhas comes on the near wing, trying to split the defense. That goes out of bounds, and that's off of Pioneer, as it actually goes all the way out of the gym, rolls into the hallway outside of the gym. 30.6 seconds left to go. Lincoln again down by 1. White coming up on the near sideline, comes over half court for the Rail Splitters. That ball passed over to Williams on the far wing, being watched by Hussein Conde. That pass, or that shot off the back of the rim and rolled around, wouldn't fall down. There's a whistle on the rebound. And that's going to be Pioneer ball, as Rohr will inbound with 16.7 seconds left to go. Bounce pass over to Uhas. Uhas coming down the near sideline. Uhas comes over center court for Pioneer. Uhas on the far wing. Now Uhas cuts into the paint. Contact made. Gets it underneath the Christian. Wouldn't fall. Loose ball. That pulled away by Hussein Conde. Hussein Conde gets into the paint. Puts it off glass with the right hand. Again, that wouldn't fall. So great rebounds, great effort, but boy, the ball wouldn't just go into the basket on that last set. But Pioneer with the lead, 12-11 in a hard-fought first quarter here at Pioneer. We'll take a moment, play a message from the MHSAA. You're watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
8 minutes up on the clock, getting ready to start the second quarter. Pioneer has 12 points. The Rail Splitters of Lincoln have 11. 1 foul apiece in this first half on both teams. So pretty clean sheet on the fouls in the first quarter. Juhas is going to, nope, looks like someone else will inbound. Pasternak will inbound right in front of us. Pasternak gets it over to Juhas. Juhas along the near sideline working against White. Juhas gets it over on the far sideline to Frischler. Frischler dribbles to his right. Top of the key, moves it over to Nelson. Nelson gets it to Christian. Christian passes it back to Frischler. Frischler floats one off glass, just a little too hard. Battle for it underneath. The Rail Splitters come away with it as that's Cook coming down the far sideline for Lincoln. Cook on the far wing. Steps back, kicks it over to Williams. Williams about 5 feet off of the top of the key. Moves it over on the near wing to Davis. Davis trying to work against Christian. Davis puts it on the deck, spins with it, off glass. That just a little too hard. Pasternak with the rebound. Pasternak feeds it over to Juhas for Pioneer. Juhas up to Frischler. Frischler makes a move into the paint, puts it up as he's fading away. Would not fall. Davis with the rebound. Davis over half court for Lincoln. Davis on the near wing. Frischler picks him up. Davis gets it over to White. White dribbles to his left. Now gets it over to Cook. Cook, top of the key. Cook. Bounce pass back to White. White gets into the paint, puts it off glass, rolls front back down, and a whistle as well. So that will be 6 points for White. That puts Lincoln ahead 13-2. White has a free throw coming, trying to make it a 2-point lead for the Rail Splitters. White puts it up, puts it in. 14 points for Lincoln, 12 for Pioneer. Christian has it underneath along the baseline, comes down the far sideline, gets ahead to Frischler. Frischler into the paint, puts up a 14-footer, wouldn't fall down. Puts it up again. Pasternak trying to get to it, that out of bounds and over to Lincoln. 6:39 left to go here in the second. Lincoln up 14-2. Or 14-12, excuse me, on Pioneer. As Dorsey will inbound, baseline left for Lincoln. As inbounded over to White. White being watched by Pasternak, and he steps out of bounds. That'll go over to Pioneer. 2 fouls, or they just put a foul up for Pioneer. 3 fouls on Pioneer, 1 on Lincoln. So they'll call that a foul on Pasternak. White has it. Coming up over to Dorsey. Dorsey trying to get it over. That knocked away by Juhas over to Pasternak. Pasternak quickly gets it over to Christian. Christian into paint. Puts it up, puts it in. 6 points for Christian. We're tied up, knotted up at 14 apiece. As Green comes down for the Rail Splitters on the near wing. Green feeds it over to Dorsey. Dorsey underneath that, pulled away by Frischler, and here comes Juhas for Pioneer. Juhas over half court. Juhas trying to get it along the near sideline. That's stolen away by White. Quickly ahead to Green for Lincoln. Green dishes it over to Dorsey, who puts it off the glass and in. His first points of the game. It is Lincoln 16, Pioneer 14. Frischler has it. Quickly over to Juhas and along the near sideline. Juhas gets over half court, and that's going to go over towards the Rail Splitters. 5:45 left to go here in the second quarter. Lincoln up by 2. They have the ball. White in the backcourt dribbles. As White comes on the near wing, now gets it over to Green, top of the key. Green working against Frischler, gets a screen. Green into the paint, that just off to the right. Tipped, grab. Green gets his own rebound, moves it over to Dorsey. Dorsey, just a few feet off of the top of the key, dribbles to his left, gets it over to White. White into the paint, floats it, that just to the left. As rebound Pioneer coming down. Here comes Juhas. Juhas quickly up to Frischler for Pioneer. Frischler, that off the back of the rim. Christian with the rebound. Christian puts it off glass and puts it in. 8 points for Christian. 16 apiece for these two teams. Here comes White quickly ahead to Davis. Davis off glass, wouldn't fall. The rebound put up as that was Ritchie putting it in. Lincoln 18, Pioneer 16. Christian gets it to Juhas. Juhas trying to send it ahead. That's stolen away by Green by Lincoln. Green on the near wing gets into the paint. That tipped away from him. Out of bounds. That will be Pioneer ball. 4:34 left to go here in the second quarter. 2-point lead by Lincoln. The basket moved ahead by Frischler. Frischler gets it over to Christian. Christian bounce pass over on the near side. And that put up. Excellent job by Delaney. And good pass to find him. And we're tied up at 18 apiece. Dorsey brings it up court over the blockades. Dorsey for Lincoln comes over on the near wing. Stolen away by Juhas. Here comes Juhas for Pioneer. He quickly finds Dorsey. Dorsey puts it off glass, puts it in. 4 points for Delaney. Pioneer now up 2. Back and forth we go. Under 4 minutes. Bringing it up, Williams for Lincoln on the far sideline. Gets it over to Green. Green comes inside the paint. Bounces it high off the glass. As that'll be Pioneer ball as it goes out of bounds. 3:48 left to go here before halftime. 2-point lead by Pioneer. Looking to try and extend it, but it has been a hard fought, tight game so far between these two teams. Pioneer has 3 fouls. Lincoln has 1 in this half. Pioneer will inbound baseline right. And inbounded by Frischler over to Juhas. Back to Frischler, back to Juhas, back to Frischler. Coming down the far sideline, Williams watching him, providing full court pressure. That quickly ahead to Juhas on the near wing. Juhas comes into the near corner, puts up a 3-pointer. That off the rim, pulled down. Excellent job by Hussein Kande. Now Frischler over to Christian. Christian, that rolls back, front and in. As that is 10 points for Christian, 22 for Pioneer. Lincoln, Davis has it along the far sideline for Lincoln. Davis on that far wing gets it over to Williams. Williams, top of the key, being watched by Hussein Kande, gets it back to Davis. Davis for a long 3-pointer. That off the front of the rim, rebound, pulled away by Juhas. Juhas quickly ahead to Christian. Christian puts it up, just made a nifty little move, spun it in the air, put it in. 12 points for Christian and 24 points for Pioneer. 2:57 left to go here before halftime. Pioneers put together a little run, pulled out to a 6-point lead. That ties the largest of the game so far. At this point, 12 points for Christian, 8 points for Juhas, and 2 points for Delaney on the Pioneer side. Over on the Lincoln side, it's 7 points for White. This is my own marking, so it's not official. 3 points for Williams, 2 points for Dorsey, 2 points for Green, and 2 points for Ritchie. So not from the official scorebook, but my best estimates, trying to write it down. As they break the huddle, Pioneer does, as you have Juhas out there, Hussein Kande, Delaney, Rohrer, as well as Frischler. On the other side, it's Green for Lincoln, Davis, Williams, Cook, and Ritchie inbounding it. Bringing it ahead is Cook for the Rail Splitters. Cook comes over half court. Cook being watched by Juhas. Spins with the ball, comes to the blockades, gets it over to Williams. Williams has Hussein Kande watching him. He tries to get into the paint, put it off glass. No basket. As there is a foul by number 3. So that will be Hussein Kande, who gets called for the foul. Williams the inbound. Hussein Kande watching him. That ball tipped away. Here comes Rohrer with it over half court, coming down the far sideline for Pioneer. Rohrer kicks it back to Frischler. Frischler over to Juhas. Juhas for 3, and he drains it. Pioneer with the 27-18 lead. Here comes Williams for Lincoln. Williams comes right on the blockades, being watched by Hussein Kande, gets it over to Davis. Davis into the paint, loses the handle, and here comes Juhas the other direction for Pioneer. Gets into the paint, slows up, tries to put it off glass. He got a little too far underneath. Went off the underside, and there is a whistle, as I believe he stepped out of bounds. That will go over to Lincoln, but Pioneer with the 9-point lead, 27-18. as they've gone on a run late here in the second. 2:12 left to go before halftime as White brings the ball up for the Rail Splitters. Comes over half court. White gets it over to Green. Green on the far wing. Green being watched by Frischler. Hands it off. That to Cook. That ball rolls out of his hands. But grabbed back. Now coming in, Green top of the, in the free throw line over to White. White coming down the near baseline. Puts it up. That again off the side of the glass. That handed over. Here comes Hussein Kande. Hussein Kande. Dribbling, coming down the baseline. Sends it all the way back out to Frischler. Frischler, top of the key. Bounce pass. Gets it back to Hussein Kande. Moving over to Uhas. Uhas, three-pointer. That off the front of the rim. Roar with the rebound. That pulled away from him. Coming the other direction is Cook for Lincoln. Cook. Long cross-court pass. That's stopped by Green. Green trying to get into the paint. Puts it off glass. Puts it in. That is his 4th point. It's a 7-point lead for Pioneer with 1 minute 14 seconds left to go here before halftime. There is a whistle and a timeout called by Pioneer. Well, we'll take it with them. How about we play a little push on, get you fired up for the last minute 11 seconds to go here in the first half. Pioneer by 7. You're watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. As it is 1 minute 11 seconds left to go, as Rita Lage sent a wonderful message, very proud of the freshman team and like Leighton Lage's performance there. And Larry Lage did a fantastic job calling the game with Bob Treat. We appreciate them. Pioneer gets it, and that's going to be over and back as the ball inbounded and then brought back to Christian. That'll get it over to Lincoln. 7-point lead for the Pioneer team. As Ritchie inbounds it, White brings it ahead. As White on the near sideline. That in. Trying to get it over to Cook underneath. That's stolen away by Christian. Coming down the far sideline is Hausman. Hausman gets it over to Uhas. Uhas, top of the key. Uhas trying to get into the paint. Triple team trying to get it over to Frischler. Frischler puts up a three-pointer. That off the back of the rim, trying to grab it. There is a whistle, as that's going to go over to Lincoln. As I believe that's going to be another. Well, they didn't put a foul up for Pioneer. I didn't see him put a symbol up there, or a number. 45 seconds left to go. Pioneer by 7. White brings it over center court. White comes into the far wing. White gets it over to Green. Green centered up, top of the key. Green trying to get to the free throw line. Now kicks it over to Ritchie. Ritchie back to Green on the near wing, being watched by Frischler. As that's sent all the way over. Back to Green on the near wing. Green tries to work his way into the paint. That off of the front of the rim, rolled over. It hit the back end in. That is Green's 6th point, as it's a 5-point lead by Pioneer. That sent quickly ahead. Evans over to Christian. Christian underneath. That to Hausman, who puts it up and in. That is Curtis's first points of the game. As long shot at the end comes up just a little short. And at the end of the first half, it is Pioneer 29 and Lincoln 22. Well, we'll take a brief moment to give you some messages from the MHA, a little bit of music. First, let's go over again, my unofficial statistics here, as it is 12 points for Antonio Christian. I have 11 points for Reed Uhas, 4 points for Madden Delaney, and 2 points for Curtis Hausman for Pioneer. On the other side, for the Rail Splitters, I have 7 points for Avery White. That should be 6 points for Caden Green, 3 points for Dean Williams, Williams, 2 points for Cameron Dorsey, and 2 points for Trey Ritchie. And that is my unofficial totals. We'll take a break. We'll step away for a moment, play a few messages from the MHSAA, and we will be back with your second half basketball action. You are watching Pioneer JV basketball brought to you, JV men's basketball brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
If you're a recent high school or college graduate and still have a passion for the games you played in school, still remember the thrill of putting on the uniform? Why don't you help us out and become a registered high school game official? Get out there and give something back to our kids. Visit the MHSA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Integrity, commitment, love of the game. These traits describe the people high school sporting events can't start without. The officials. They're out there every day giving back to our kids. Let's give them the respect they deserve. Better yet, why don't you become one? Visit the MHSAA website for more information. There's help wanted, just whistle. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You're hearing it. The message is getting through to parents. Multi-sport athletes get injured less. Multi-sport athletes become better in their primary sport in the long run. And even though it's not why we play our games, multi-sport athletes are now getting recruited more than specialized athletes. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
You have to wonder sometimes how folks in the stands, so far removed from the action and who have probably never had any training, actually think they can see the play and apply the rules better than the officials assigned to a game. If you're that good, please register immediately at MHSAA.com. We need more officials on the playing surface and fewer in the stands. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Think of a high school game as a 4-lane highway. Coaches, players, officials, and spectators, each with their own lane. Sportsmanship depends on everyone not crossing over the line. Fans keep it between the lines when they cheer positively for their team. So don't cause an accident. Stay in your lane and let the coaches, players, and officials do their jobs. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We are at halftime here at the main gym on the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer High School, where it is Pioneer men's JV basketball taking on the Lincoln Rail Splitters here at halftime, as we have about 4 minutes and 35 seconds left of halftime. The Rail Splitters have come back and they're getting warmed up. ready to go for the second half. It is Pioneer 30 and Lincoln 22. Pioneer had a 6-point lead early, but Lincoln fought all the way back. They took the lead, got it out to a 2-point lead. Pioneer now ballooned it all the way. 8 points, I believe, is the largest lead of either team. So Pioneer is going to look to build on that. Lincoln going to look to shrink that lead and hopefully come back. So we will take a few moments, play a little bit of music here, give you a break from my voice, and then we will be back for second half action. You are watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. We are back live from the main gym here on the campus of Ann Arbor Pioneer as Frischler to inbound for Pioneer. Pioneer with the 8-point lead on the Lincoln Rail Splitters here at home. Contest between the men's JV games, and that's stolen away by Green. Green puts it off the glass. There will be a foul as it rolled off the rim. But Green is going to go to the line and shoot 2. First foul on Pioneer this half. Of course, we're 5 seconds in. So big time steal by Lincoln to try and cut into the lead right off the bat. First one is up, first one is in. That is 7 points for Green. One more basket, one more free throw coming. Toes the line, dribbles up, eyes the rim, puts it up, puts it in. 8 points for Green. It's a 6-point lead by Pioneer. Frischler gets it over to Christian. Christian coming down the far side, gets it over to Juhas. Juhas into the paint, coming down the baseline. That pulled away, coming the other direction. Here comes White for Lincoln. Up to Green. Green puts it off the glass, puts it in. As it's now a 4-point lead by Pioneer. Bounce pass over to Frischler. Frischler gets it ahead. Now coming up, Juhas. Juhas into the paint. Juhas stops, shoots. That off the back of the rim would not fall. Roach with the rebound. Roach bounce passes it over to Green. 4-point lead by Pioneer. Here comes Lincoln with it. Green into the paint. Green puts it up off glass. Little hard. Pulled away by Juhas. Fast and furious pace to start off this game. Juhas moves it over. Christian comes down the baseline. Puts that up. Little strong, but a whistle and a foul. That is going to go on Roach. So 1 foul apiece by both teams here early in the third. Pioneer 30, Lincoln 26. Christian at the line shooting 2. First one off the front of the rim. He'll get one more. Trying to increase the lead to 5 points. Spins the ball, puts it up, and rattles home. 13 points for Christian as White brings it ahead for Lincoln. White on the near wing being watched by Juhas. White works his way around onto the far sideline, gets it over to Williams. Williams, top of the key, being watched by Pasternak. Williams comes to his left-hand side. That's a travel. That'll go over to Pioneer. 31 points for Pioneer, 26 for Lincoln. 6:58 left to go here. Christian inbounds it to Frischler. Frischler back to Christian. Christian trying to break a double team, moving it over on the far side to Juhas. Juhas comes down into the far corner. Juhas bounce pass over to Christian. Christian into the paint, trying to get it over to Nelson. I don't think he was expecting that coming out of bounds. That'll go over to Lincoln. 6:48 left to go here in the third. White brings it up the far sideline for Lincoln. White over half court being watched by Juhas. White comes to blockades. Now gets on the far corner, or in the far wing to Green. Green gets it back to White on that far wing, trying to break his way through the paint. That tipped away, saved, and that's Christian getting the rebound as Lincoln saved it right to Christian. Christian going off glass and in. That is 15 points for Antonio Christian. Quickly ahead for Lincoln, trying to feed it to Green, who is racing down. That just a little off the mark. That'll be Pioneer ball. They have a 7-point lead, 33-26 the score. 6:13 left to go here in the third period. Christian will inbound, baseline left. White watching the inbound. Frischler has it back over to Christian. Christian moving over on the far sideline to Juhas, getting ahead to Rohrer. Rohrer on that far wing. Over to Christian. Christian top of the key. That knocked away. Here comes Green. Green racing down with it. He'll have an easy bucket, and it will fall as he tried to finger roll it in, and it just not quite hard enough. Here comes Juhas for Pioneer. That over to Frischler, and a shot by Pasternak for 3. And Pasternak hit it from the near corner. That makes it 36 for Pioneer, 26 for Lincoln. And I know I totally jinxed Green, so forgive me as I said he had an easy basket. That into the paint, off the glass, trying to race in was White. Couldn't get the basket, but gets the whistle. 5:34 left to go here in the third. 36 points for Pioneer, 26 for Lincoln. White at the line, fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll shoot 2. That is 2 fouls for Pioneer, 1 for Lincoln in this half. White bends at the knees, puts it up, puts it in. That is 8 points for White. He has 1 more shot coming as he puts that up. Off the back of the rim, wouldn't fall. Christian with the rebound, that ahead to Frischler. Frischler over to Juhas. Juhas over on the near wing, gets over to Pasternak for 3. Pasternak, that off the back of the rim. Rebound by Pioneer. Pasternak trying to get it underneath now, and Christian trying to get it. Battle, that'll be a jump ball. Possession arrow. Was it a jump ball or a timeout called? I think they called it timeout. Pioneer. As they're checking the, apparently there might have been some moisture underneath the basket to our right as the gentlemen all out. You have a whole bunch of squeaking going on as they're trying to make sure that everything's dry over there. You don't have the lovely young folk who dry off the court like you have at the Big Ten games or the NBA games. So everyone's got to go over and create a little squeak. So 5:20. I believe Pioneer got that timeout before the jump ball called. Pioneer has the 9-point lead, 36-27. 5:20 left to go here in the third. As both teams talking things over, getting things set with their coaching staff. We appreciate you joining us on this Friday evening. Thank you so much for supporting these athletes. We really look forward to the time when we can have a full gym here and all of you in the stands cheering. But until that can happen, thank you for wherever you are at supporting these wonderful athletes and cheering them on from afar. We appreciate it. It means a lot. Yeah, I know the players appreciate it. Pasternak to inbound, baseline right. As Coach Barnes got that timeout called. Excellent job underneath to Christian. Christian puts it. That rolls off the front of the rim. Davis with the rebound. Quickly ahead to Green. Green coming down the far sideline for Lincoln. Floats it up. Puts it in. As Green now has 12 for Lincoln. That brought ahead by Juhas coming down the far sideline. Juhas gets over to Pasternak for 3. Pasternak. That one a little short. That tipped back, grabbed. Here comes Williams. Pioneer has the 36-29 lead, 7-point lead. Williams along the far sideline, whistle blown as Pasternak bodied up Williams, and they'll get him for a foul. That will be the third foul on Pioneer and 1 on Lincoln this half. Williams will inbound right in front of the scorer's bench. Houseman watching him. He gets it over to Davis. Davis back over to Williams. Williams at the free throw line moves it over. Dorsey has it. Dorsey steps back, puts it over to Davis on the far side, or on the far wing. Davis trying to get into the paint. That heavy off the glass. Christian hard down onto the ground, and that will be a charge. So that'll go ball over to Pioneer. Christian had position, inbounds it to Frischler. Here comes Christian over half court for Pioneer. Christian right into the paint, bounce over to Houseman. Houseman off glass, that just a little hard. Trying to grab it underneath and battle for it, and that'll be a jump ball. Arrow points towards the Rail Splitters direction, so Ritchie will inbound baseline right as he gets it over to Williams. 7-point lead for Pioneer. 4:24 left to go here in the third. Williams brings it down the far sideline. Williams right on the blockades. Bounce pass over to Davis on the far wing. Davis steps back, shoots a 3. That off the rim, pulled down by Christian. Christian quickly ahead to Houseman. Houseman past the defense, stops, bodied. That'll be a foul. As he put it up off glass, couldn't quite hit it, but he draws the contact, and he'll go to the line shooting 2, trying to extend it, if at all possible, to a 9-point lead. is out there right now for Pioneer. Houseman at the line, Rohrer and Christian on the lane. Frischler and Uhas, the other Pioneer players. Davis out there for Lincoln. First shot is up. First shot is good. Excellent job by Houseman. That's 3 points for him. He'll have one more coming. Dorsey out there for Lincoln, as well as Richie Green. I feel like I'm missing someone who's talking to coach or something. Oh, Williams is out there as well. That ball put up, rims out. Davis with the rebound. Christian trying to grab it. They're going to say that that's going to go Lincoln's way. 4:04 left to go here in the third. Pioneer up by 8. Richie inbounds it to Williams for the Rail Splitters. Williams brings it up court. Comes over half court. Uhas watching him. Puts it along the far sideline. That for Dorsey, and a travel call. That'll go over to Pioneer. Timeout called by Lincoln. We'll take it with them. How about a little push on to keep you pumped up, keep the team pumped up, keep everyone pumped up. You are watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Wait, I thought they said timeout. Maybe not. Everyone's still out, so I'm not gonna step away. Now they go over. Okay, now I'll play it. I don't always know what's going on. Actually, they'll have a technical as Frischler puts it up. Frischler puts it in. He'll have another shot coming. That makes it a 9-point lead. Frischler can make it a 10-point lead here, and he does. Frischler with the 2 points on the technical. As they were pointing over to the Lincoln bench, I thought it was a timeout. Apparently it was technical. Christian has it coming down the far sideline. Christian loses his footing, goes down. Green can't believe it. He got called. Christian will go to the line, or no, it's not enough fouls, but not in the act of shooting. But Uhas will inbound on the near sideline. 10-point lead by Pioneer. 3:53 left to go here in the third. 4 fouls for Pioneer, 4 fouls for Lincoln in this second half. Uhas has Williams watching him on that near sideline. Bounce pass, gets it over to Houseman. Houseman back over to Christian. Christian coming down the near side of the paint. Houseman for 3. That goes off the top of the glass, out of bounds. It'll go the other direction. White looking for someone to take his inbound pass. Inbounds it to Dorsey, then gets it back. White bringing it up court for the Rail Splitters. He comes over half court, being watched by Uhas. White dribbles to his right, now trying to cut into the paint. White puts it up off the front of the rim. Frischler with the rebound. Pioneer with the 10-point lead. 3:30 left to go. Quickly over to Christian. Christian coming down the baseline, moves it over as he got it to Rohrer. Underneath, that tipped away, battle for it. As there's going to be a foul called. Pioneer will inbound baseline right underneath their own basket. Frischler will inbound. 4 fouls for Pioneer this half, 5 for Lincoln. As that inbounded over to Uhas. Uhas, travel called. That is going to go over to Lincoln. 3:21 left to go here in the third. 10-point lead by Pioneer, 39-29. White will inbound baseline right, gets it over to Dorsey. Dorsey bringing it up for the Rail Splitters. Dorsey comes over half court. Dorsey kicking it over to White. White trying to get around Frischler. He puts it into the far corner for Davis. Davis working his way around that far sideline. Rohrer watching him. That kicked over to White. White dribbles, trying to make it to the baseline. Now steps back, shoots a long 2. That bounces off the rim, off the back of the glass. Goes out of bounds. That's going to be Pioneer ball with 3 minutes left to go here in the third. 10-point lead by Pioneer, 39-29. Christian to inbound. As mask issue, coach has a number of masks over there just to be ready. Excellent job, very prepared. As that's inbounded over to Uhas. Uhas kicks it over to Christian. Christian coming down the near sideline for Pioneer. Bounce pass over to Houseman. Houseman on the near wing. Houseman dribbles down the baseline, puts it up, bounces off the front, the back, would not fall. That came, Lincoln comes away with it. Williams puts it ahead to Dorsey. Dorsey has Houseman watching him. Now back to Green on the near wing. Green puts up a 17-footer and nails it. Green now has 14 for Lincoln, and it's a 7-point lead by Pioneer. Christian has it down the far sideline. Quickly ahead to Rohr. Rohr on the far wing, and there is a whistle. And that's going to go over to Lincoln as White will inbound the ball. I think Pioneer stepped out of bounds along that far sideline. 2:20 left to go here in the third. Pioneer by 7. Williams brings it over half court. Williams on the block ace as Uhas watching him. Kicks it back. There's Green for 3. That just off the side of the rim, trying to pull it down is Rohr. Underneath the basket, they're going to call a travel. That is going to be Lincoln ball. As White to inbound. Baseline left underneath his own basket. Frischler trying to watch it. Timeout called by Lincoln, trying to avoid a 5-second violation. We'll take it with them. How about that push on I promised a few minutes ago? You're watching Pioneer JV Basketball, men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. 2:06 left to go here in the third. Pioneer 39, Lincoln 31. Taking a look at the foul situation, 4 fouls this half for Pioneer, 5 for Lincoln. As both teams break the huddle. Lincoln to inbound, baseline left underneath their own basket. White will do the inbounding. As White looking for a place to go with it. Frischler watching him. They kick it all the way back. That to Dorsey. Dorsey gets it over to Davis in the far corner. Davis trying to come down the baseline, banks it off the glass and in. That will be Davis's first points. That coming down the near sideline. Uhas picks up his pass, moves it over to Houseman. Now put up by Hussein Conde. A little hard off the glass. That pulled in by Davis. Here comes Lincoln quickly the other way with it. White trying to get into the paint. Puts it up, puts it in. That's 10 points for White. Pioneer with it. Frischler trying to get it ahead to Rohr. Heavy pressure coming by Lincoln. Now Hussein Conde floats it up. That off the side of the rim. And whistle. That'll stay Lincoln ball as Pioneer gets called for the foul. 5 fouls for Pioneer, 5 for Lincoln. Williams inbounds it to White. It's a 4-point game. Lincoln trying to battle back. White has it over half court, coming along that far sideline. Uhas watching him. Gets it over to Williams underneath for Davis. Davis puts it off glass, puts it in, plus picks up the foul. That is his 4th point. Has an opportunity to get a 5th point. As foul called on Rohr. Davis will be at the line shooting 1. It is a 2-point game. Davis trying to make it a 1-point game with 1 minute, 10 seconds left to go in the third. Davis toes the line, bends at the knees, puts it up. That off the front of the rim. Christian has it quickly ahead to Houseman. Houseman moves it over to Uhas. Uhas coming down the far wing. Uhas dribbling, bounce pass. There's over to Frischler. Frischler for 3. And boy, that hit both sides of the rim twice, wouldn't go in. Christian with the rebound, puts it up, that knocked away. Here comes Williams for the rail splitter. Gets it over to Dorsey. Dorsey off the glass, wouldn't fall, but put up. That by Williams. That's his 5th point. and we're all tied up, 39 apiece. Houseman quickly head to Frischler. Frischler, bounce pass underneath. That put up. Hussein Kande puts it in, gives Pioneer the lead. That is his first points of the game. 41 points for Pioneer, 39 for Lincoln. Dorsey has it into the paint, and Houseman grabbed that. Thought he got all ball. That will be on Pioneer. 6 fouls on Pioneer. That is going to be then one. Now they're going to say in the active shooting, so that should be 2 shots. And put up and in by Dorsey. That's his third point. Dorsey, one more coming, looking to tie the game up at 41. 25.4 seconds left in the third. He puts it in, hits them both. We're tied up, 41 apiece. As Lincoln in the bonus. Christian to inbound, baseline left. Frischler back there as well as Juhas. Full court pressure coming by Lincoln. Christian quickly over to Juhas coming down the far sideline. They get it over to Hussein Kande. Hussein Kande puts up the three-pointer. That off the rim, trying to pull that down out of bounds. They'll say that went off a Pioneer, and that's going to be Lincoln ball. They have the opportunity to take the lead. So 7 fouls on Pioneer, 5 on Lincoln. Williams to inbound, 14.5 seconds left to go. As shots coming due to the bonus, as Roach at the line. Should be 1-1. Roach dribbles, puts it up. Off the back of the rim, that pulled down by Pioneer. We stay tied, 41 apiece. 10 seconds left to go. Frischler has it. Coming down the far sideline, here comes Juhas over half court for Pioneer. Juhas stops, shoots 3. That off the side of the rim, 2 seconds left to go. Pioneer, Juhas with the rebound into the paint. Couldn't get it up in time, and we end up tied after 3 quarters, all knotted up, 41 apiece. Taking a look at your leading score, 15 for Christian for Pioneer, 11 for Juhas, 4 for Delaney, 3 for Houseman, 3 for Pasternak, 2 for Hussein Kande, and 2 for Frischler. Over on the Lincoln side, it is 14 for Green, 10 for White. Let's see, 5 for Williams, 4 for Dorsey, 4 for Davis, and 2 for Ritchie. So that is where we stand. How about we play a little push on, get you fired up for this fourth quarter. You're watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Pioneer inbound the ball as they'll start off the fourth quarter. Frischler to inbound. As Frischler gets it over, Christian has it. Christian coming down the near baseline, puts it off glass, puts it in is Christian. That brought ahead. Here comes Lincoln with it. Cook trying to put it off the baseline. That comes off of the rim. Trying to grab it down at the ground. Houseman grabbed it. And they're going to call I think Lincoln called a timeout, and they're going to say Lincoln had the ball. The officials have a lot better position than I do. Pioneer had gotten out to a 10-point lead in the third, and then Lincoln battled back as it was back and forth a lot in the first half. Pioneer's lead ballooned, but then Lincoln battled back and had it tied at 41 apiece. At the beginning of the fourth, now Pioneer has the 43-41, so a 2-point lead. Pioneer has 8 fouls. not far away from the double bonus. 5 for Lincoln. As it's going to be Lincoln ball, they'll inbound. Baseline left. White looks to inbound. As White gets it to Davis. Davis coming down the baseline. And whistle blown. That's going to put Davis to the line, shooting. Davis toes the line. Davis eyes it. Puts it up. That off the front of the rim. Frischler has it. Quickly ahead, coming down the far sideline is Houseman. Houseman gets it into the far corner for Powell. Powell comes down, floats it off glass. That just a little too hard over to the near side. Christian with the rebound. Christian gets it to Houseman, top of the key. Houseman trying to dribble into the paint, trying to avoid pressure. That tipped away as that will be Lincoln ball. Pioneer with the 2-point lead, 7:19 left to go here in the fourth. Davis will inbound near sideline just to our right of our broadcast position. And as Davis inbounds it, gets it over to White. White coming down over half court. White along the far sideline being watched by Houseman. White floats it up, getting it over to Williams. Williams on the near wing. Williams dribbles, trying to get down to the baseline, puts it up. That off the glass. Rebound by Lincoln. Bouncing underneath, trying to pull that away. Pioneer with it, all Frischler. Had Lincoln players all over him, trying to cause a tie-up. As they call a foul, that'll be 6 on Lincoln. One more Pioneer is in the bonus. Frischler will inbound, baseline left. 2-point lead by Pioneer, just under 7 minutes to go. Uhas gets it back to Frischler, back to Uhas, coming down the near sideline. More full court pressure by Lincoln. Over to Powell. Powell along the far wing. Powell gets it over to Houseman, and saving it from going out of over and back was Houseman. Frischler did a nice job coming over as well. That over to Uhas. Uhas right at the blockades. Uhas gets into the paint. Flips it over. That coming down the far sideline. Houseman flips it up, flips it in. Was the whistle beforehand? It appears that it was. So 2-point lead by Pioneer, 43-41. Coming up, Williams has it down the far sideline. Williams stops, puts it up off the side of the rim. That underneath, trying to get it in. Whistle blown. That is a foul. That's going to be a foul on Powell. It's 10 fouls on Pioneer. Williams now shooting 2, opportunity to tie it up. First one up, first one in. That is 6 points for Williams. 42 for Lincoln, 43 for Pioneer. One more shot coming for Williams. Williams puts it up. That off the back of the rim. Pioneer by 1 point. Powell has it. Powell over to Uhas. Uhas coming down the far sideline. Williams providing some full court pressure as Uhas on the far wing gets it over to Houseman. Houseman, top of the key. Houseman trying to drive the lane, encounters heavy pressure. Houseman trying to get it out of there. That's going to be tipped away, and Houseman lost control. That's over to Lincoln. 1 point lead by Pioneers, 6:01 left to go. White brings it ahead for the Rail Splitters coming down the far sideline. He has speed, trying to get into the paint. That tipped away, grabbed by Frischler. As coming down the near sideline, here comes Uhas. Uhas over center court for Pioneer. Uhas into the paint, puts it off the rim, wouldn't fall. That pulled down by Nelson. Nelson trying to go underneath and put it up. They'll say he stepped on the sideline. Or on the baseline. That'll be Lincoln ball. 5 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in the fourth. 1 point lead by Pioneer. Williams brings it up for Lincoln. Williams comes over half court. Juhas watching him as he's coming down the far sideline. Williams trying to get a little bit of room. Now kicks it back over to Ritchie. Ritchie back over to Williams. Williams trying to float into the paint. That off the front of the rim. Williams gets its own rebound, then puts it in. We are tied. 8 points for Lincoln is up one, as it is Lincoln 44, Pioneer 43. That quickly ahead to Powell. Powell off the glass and in. Pioneer takes the 1 point lead, 45-44. Williams inbounds to Roach, then back to Williams, bringing it up for Lincoln. Under 5 minutes left to go. 1 point lead by Pioneer. Williams gets to the top of the key, gets into the paint, puts it up and puts it in. Here comes Pioneer as 1 point lead by Lincoln. Christian trying to get it over to Houseman. That tipped away by White. That will be Pioneer ball. 4:37 left to go here in the fourth. Powell to inbound, baseline right. Powell bounces it over to Juhas, and trying to knock that away was Cook. And Cook touched it last. That will be Pioneer ball. Juhas will inbound on the near sideline. 1 point lead by Lincoln, 46-45. Pioneer trying to get the lead again. Gets it over to Frischler. Frischler dribbles onto the far wing. Gets it over to Houseman. Houseman for three. And off the back and the side of the rim. Wouldn't fall down. That knocked away. But picking it back up. That moved over. Roach got it over to Williams. Lincoln looking to extend their 1 point lead. Williams coming down the near point of the near part of the paint. Tried to put it up off his right hand. That hit the underneath of the glass. There was a whistle blown. 4:17 left to go here in the fourth. 1 point lead for Lincoln. They will be at the line as Williams steps to the line. First one comes off, rims all the way around. Williams bends at the knees, puts it up, puts it in. 11 points for Williams, 2 point lead by Lincoln as Juhas brings it up court, coming down the far side for Pioneer. Juhas gets into the paint, puts it up, trying to put it off glass, not quite hard enough, that pulled away. Here comes Lincoln trying to add to their lead. Williams brings it over half court. Williams coming down the far sideline. Williams into the far corner. Moves it, that over to Green. Green gets into the paint, trying to put it underneath. That knocked away by Frischler. Frischler now moves it over on the near side to Christian. Christian grabbed it. There's a whistle. And it's going to be a foul. That puts Pioneer in the bonus. Shooting 1 and 1 is Christian. Pioneer has an opportunity to tie if Christian can hit both of these free throws. But it is 1 and 1. Powell comes out. Pasternak comes in for Pioneer. Evans out there, Houseman, Christian, Frischler, and Pasternak for Pioneer. Green out there for Lincoln. Hit the first one. He has one more coming. Christian has one more coming. Davis out there. Ritchie. White. Hits both of them. 2 huge free throws for Christian to tie it up. As he has 19, Williams brings it over half court, coming down the far sideline. Gets a screen. Williams kicks it over to Green. Green for 3, and Green hits it. That's 17 for Lincoln. They have the 3-point lead, 50-47 for Pioneer. Frischler brings it up. Frischler stops, shoots from the free throw line, would not fall. Green pulls it the other direction for Lincoln. Green over half court. Green on the far wing. Green has Houseman watching him, providing heavy pressure. Christian trying to knock that away. Now Williams puts it up for three and hits it. Oof, 2 tough three-pointers in a row to make it a 6-point lead for Lincoln. Timely three-pointers for them. Pasternak brings it up for Pioneer. Pioneer wanting to cut into this Lincoln lead. Christian gets into the paint, trying to split the pair. As they'll wave that off. Foul called. Blocking foul. Christian will shoot 1 and 1. That's 8 fouls now on Ypsilanti. More than at least 10 for Pioneer in this half. So if Christian can hit both of these, it would be a 1-point Lincoln lead. But again, he's shooting 1 and 1. Uhas comes in, replacing Evans. Christian toes the line. He has 19 points. Puts the first one up. Puts the first one in. Give him an even 20. One more free throw coming. I was saying 2 point. That's at this point 5-point lead by Lincoln. Christian puts it up and off the front of the rim. Trying to grab it. Uhas with the rebound for Pioneer. Hands it off to Christian. Christian coming down the baseline. Puts it off glass and in. 22 points for Christian. It's a 3-point lead for Lincoln as Williams brings it up. 2:28 left to go here in the fourth. Williams has it along the far sideline. They want to talk things over, and we'll take a moment to play a little push on, try and get you fired up for a big Pioneer comeback as it's Lincoln 53, Pioneer 52, 25 left to go here. You are watching Pioneer Men's JV Basketball, brought to you by Arbor Broadcasting. Lincoln had ballooned the lead to 6 points. I believe that was their largest of the game. Pioneer has cut that in half. It is a 3-point lead for Lincoln with 2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go. It is Lincoln ball. As looking to inbound, Ritchie right in front of the scorer's table. Frischler watching him. As that'll be inbounded along the far sideline. Williams has it, gets it back to White. White along that far sideline. White being watched by Houseman. Gets it back to Williams. Top the key underneath to Davis. Davis puts it up just a little hard. Frischler with the rebound. He gets it over to Uhas. Quickly ahead. That over to Christian. Christian over on the far wing. Gets it back to Frischler. Frischler floats it into the far corner for Houseman. Houseman for three. Would not fall off the rim. Davis with the rebound. Here comes Lincoln the other direction. We're under 2 minutes to go. 3-point lead for Lincoln. Green brings it over half court. Green being watched by Pasternak. Gets it over to White on the far sideline. White drifts it over to Green. Green. Heavy pressure being applied by Pasternak. Green steps back. Hands it off. That over to Williams. Williams gets to the free throw line, floats it up off the back of the rim. That pulled away by Frischler. 1 minute, 30 seconds left to go. Lincoln by 3. Uhas with the ball. Uhas gets it over. There's Pasternak for 3. Pasternak, oh, that wouldn't fall off the front and the side of the rim. Here comes Lincoln the other way. 1 minute, 18 seconds left. Lincoln by 3. White gets into the paint. White puts it off glass, puts it in. 5-point lead. White's 12-point, 5-point lead by Lincoln. 1 minute, 7 seconds left to go. Uhas brings it over half court, coming down the far sideline. Hard-fought game by both of these two teams. Frischler now gets it back to Uhas. Uhas for three. Wouldn't fall. That ball loose underneath. Davis with a huge rebound for Lincoln. We're under a minute to go. 50 seconds. 5-point lead by Lincoln as Williams comes down the near side. Gets it over to Green. Green into the paint. Off with the right hand. Wouldn't fall. Rebound grabbed by Ritchie. Now pulled away by Pioneer. Quickly the other way. Pasternak gets it over to Christian. Christian off the glass and in. It is a 3-point lead. That is 24 points by Christian. Williams has it. Stolen away by Uhas, but Williams gets it back. 26 seconds left to go. Ahead to White. White, bounce pass over, gets it back, puts it up, puts it in. As that's 14 points for White. It's a 5-point lead. Christian quickly ahead. 13 seconds left to go. Christian off glass, puts it up, puts it in. 26 points for Christian. 8.5 seconds left to go. It's a 3-point lead. Right now, Pioneer is going to look to steal the inbounds pass. Otherwise, they don't have much choice but to foul. Otherwise, it is over Pioneer with over 10 fouls, so they're in Lincoln in the double bonus. 8 fouls by Lincoln, Pioneer in the bonus. But if Lincoln can get this ball inbounded and hang on to it, Pioneer will have to foul. Well, earlier in the freshman game, Larry Lage was talking about 2 sports moments that made him cry, and he said the first one was that Isaiah Thomas inbound pass that was stolen by Bird. And I will admit, anytime I'm watching sports highlights and I hear that play-by-play call about how there's a steal by Bird, I still have nightmares about that. Just absolutely lots of respect to Bird, but that play will always haunt me. But we'd like the opposite to happen here. We'd love Pioneer to get a huge steal on the Lincoln inbound or cause a 5-second or some kind of turnover. Otherwise, Pioneer will have to resort to fouling. Green inbounding, baseline right. That pulled into Davis. Quickly a foul as Pasternak gets called for the foul. 6.8 seconds left to go. Davis goes to the line shooting 2. 1 free throw would make it a 2-possession game unless Pioneer can get fouled on a 3-pointer. He hits both free throws, and boy, the task would be a tall hill to surmount. Davis, first one up, first one in. Pretty shot, just sinks it. That makes it tough. That's his 5th point. 4-point lead by Lincoln. Pioneer would have to hit a 3 and foul at this point to tie it up in a single possession. The shot, the scoreboard went dark across the way, but the one to our right still up. Davis with 1 more free throw coming, trying to make it a 5-point lead by Lincoln. Clutch by Davis. That's 6 points for him, but no 2 bigger than those 2 free throws. Uhas quickly up. There's Hausman for 3. That just off to the right-hand side. There was a whistle beforehand, as I don't think the clock probably didn't start, as it's still 6.1, so they're going to come over and try and figure that out. Is again the scoreboard off to our left, but the one to our right's working, as well as the time on the what would end up being the shot clocks above each basket. So they're going to try and get this figured out. As it looks like they're going to re-inbound the ball. Pioneer's going to re-inbound on the far side, as Lincoln quickly drew up a play. So they're going to put it back to 6.8 seconds. Christian to inbound, baseline left, gets it to Uhas. Uhas quickly ahead. Uhas comes over half court. Uhas trying to put up a 3-pointer and would not fall. That is the game. as Pioneer at one point in the third had a 10-point lead, but Lincoln showing a lot of guts, a lot of grit, coming back and winning at 59-54. 5-point win over Pioneer. Both of these teams played their guts out. So hard-fought game both ways. Taking a look at the scoring, all of this unofficial, of course, but 26 points by Antonio Christian. Just a beast of a day for him. It was 11 points for Uhas. Let's see, 4 points for Delaney, 3 points for Houseman, 3 points for Passernick, 2 points for Powell, 2 points for Hussein Conde, 2 points for Frischler. Over on the other side, have to do a quick math here, but I believe that's 13 points for Williams. That would be 17 points for Green. He was key in this game. 14 points for White. All three of those players huge for Lincoln. 6 points for Davis. No bigger points than those 2 free throws at the end. 4 points for Darcy, and then 2 points for Roach and 2 points for Ritchie. Our next game is going to be on Sunday. That will be Pioneer men's varsity hockey. That will be versus the Pinckney Pirates over at the Arctic Coliseum. We're going to hope and pray that our internet signal works properly over there. It's fought us big time over in that building, but we'll do our best to bring that to you. Tomorrow we don't have any games. How crazy is that? So have a restful Saturday. Go watch some college basketball or hockey or whatever your favorite thing is to do. And we will be back on Sunday and a big slate of games next week. We'll announce those. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much for supporting the teams and watching the game and cheering from wherever you are at. Have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you Sunday afternoon.